Good morning. Welcome back to Manor Road Studio. My name is Dale. This is my Slinky. I'll be your guru for the morning. This is the Gathering of the Free and Alive. For the first couple of months we were here, I did this every Sunday for whatever reason, got out of the habit of it. I want to get back into the habit of it because when we talk about the gathering, there's so many things that I want to share with everybody. You can see once again I changed the subtitle quite frequently on Free and Alive. This time it's called the Humanitarian Bridge. And I keep looking for something that I feel like is what we're all about. That one, the Humanitarian Bridge, sounds good to me, so give me your thoughts on it. In the meantime, let's kind of dial down the busyness of the week, kind of slow some of the static, the voices that are in our head. Any negativity, any stress that's crept into our lives this week, let's for a few minutes just kind of shut it out. Have a gratitude moment, have a moment of being thankful. There's so many things that are going on in this world, and for us, if we obviously have the opportunity to sit here and dialogue, we have a lot to be thankful for. So, with that being said, let me jump right in. Over the last week, obviously it has been for the last 2 or 3 weeks, most people's attention's been on what's going on in Ukraine. Certainly no different today. But I want to expand on it a little bit. I watch a news network called The World is One, WION, WION News. I actually am not sure where they're broadcast out of. I love it. I watch it on YouTube. What makes that so appealing to me is it's real journalism. These people just promote the news around the world. They don't have a political slant. They don't have a religious slant. They just put it out there. They don't even share their own point of view. They just put it out there. And the reason I'm bringing that up is there's so many crises going on in the world that really doesn't get the attention that it probably should. You've heard me talk before about Yemen. And they've got a humanitarian crisis going on there that's just to the point of almost unbelievable. And then I was reading about Pakistan and Afghanistan and some of the just unbelievable humanitarian crisis going on in those countries. The Republic of the Congo. There is suffering and oppression all over the world. We just simply don't hear about it, and I'm not sure we want to. It's one of those things when you're aware, you kind of feel obligated to do something, and maybe we don't know what to do. I don't know what to do other than give this stuff attention, give it a voice. Realize that, I mentioned last week, we talk about in America that the top 2%, the wealthiest of the wealthy. Well, to the rest of the world, pretty much all of us are the top 2%. When we talk about being poor, there are poor people in America, no question about it. But what you don't see a lot in America is people literally dying of starvation, famine, diseases that civilized world have eradicated. We simply are poor, maybe monetarily, but when you look at the people in these third world countries, the Yemens, the Republic of the Congos, the Rwanda, Sudan, Azerbaijan, and those other places, these people are dying of starvation. I'm talking about not having food for days upon end, no fresh water, no access to modern basic medicine. So our view of poor and the world's global view of poor is really totally different, because you hear people in your life, in your circle, and maybe you would say the same thing, that hey, I was brought up, both my parents had to work hard for a living. But for the most part, we all had a meal on the table, at least once a day. Maybe not 3 times a day, but at least once a day. There are places on this globe that absolutely do not have that simple, basic human need. So I just want to put that out there. Again, I don't know what to do about it. Maybe just giving it a voice. You and I can discuss it. We can do something about it. So, kind of the message of the day: your story, my story. I told you a couple of weeks ago that I was going to start sharing my story. My story starts, to me, July of 2018 when my cancer came back. And I want to share that part of my story, not as a pity party or anything like that. I want to share it in a way that has it impacted my life in a positive way. Because as we go through metamorphosis in life, we go through dramatic life events, and we come out of it on the other side. It has a profound impact on who we are. And if we allow it, it can grow us in a very, very positive, dynamic way. So often in life, we're blowing and going, we're doing good, life is good, everything's good. Whether we know it or not, there's a level of arrogance about us. And especially in the West, a lot of our success is measured by our monetary gains, our possessions, and so forth. So, to some extent, we might not all believe that, but if you let it soak in for a minute, you might go to yourself, yeah, I'm guilty of that. We do put the ability to make more money and have more money, it probably ranks a notch higher than ethics and morality. We can forgive or turn a blind eye to some things that are ethically and morally questionable, but if there's an opportunity to make more, we might can just simply move that into the gray area. So I'd like your thoughts on that. So I want to share more of my story later on, but for a moment, I want to talk about your story. Right now, everything prior to this moment is set in stone. It's written down. It's your story. It is what it is. It's unchangeable. It's merely legend, merely memory, whatever the heck you want to call it. But what we do have the ability to do is impact our story going forward. We do have the opportunity to have our own paintbrush, use our own ink pen, use our own pencil. We can erase what we need to erase. We can paint over what we need to paint over. We just have opportunity that a lot of people don't have to create and manifest positive changes in our life. Now, why did I frame it like that? Because somebody sent me a question. I've got 3 questions that were sent to me. Here's the first one. I'm going to pull it into this. What truth do you believe society isn't ready for? Let me roll that into the next one. What is something that is false but repeated so often people think it's true? I'm going to kind of tie these together. But let me tell you something that's false. When we're looking at things globally, if you will, what's false is that all of us can manifest positive change in our life. Simply not true. All of us have choices that can make our lives better. Simply not true. But in America, all the books you read, all the seminars you hear, it kind of puts the onus on you that if you want it bad enough and you're willing to do what it takes, that you have the ability to change your life any way you want to change it. There is some truth to that in America. The people in these third world countries that I just spoke of, in the Yemens, the people that are trying to survive in Mariupol in Ukraine, those people, you tell me what they can manifest in their life that will give them running water, that will put their house back intact, that they're not running from missiles and so forth. You tell me what the mothers in Yemen can do when they're sitting there watching their emaciated children die a horrific death. Tell me how they can manifest something positive in their life that will infinitely change them for the better. Hello? Now, I'm saying that to say this. Probably 90% of us in America, we have that choice. We have the choice to manifest something better. We have the ability to manifest something better. Every single bit of knowledge is available to us through this wonderful thing called Google, the internet, YouTube. So simply go back 15 to 20 years, we had to seek high and low for information that could give us a talent, give us an ability that we didn't previously have to make our life better. Now we don't have to. It's right there at our fingertips. But that's not available to everybody in this world. And even if it were, there are some people that absolutely can't effectuate change their own life, even if we say that they can. Everything's a choice, we love to say. I love to say it. I am what's called an inspirational, motivational person. And I've lived that title for at least 30 years, maybe 40. I realize now more than ever what a blessing inspiration and motivation is when you have the ability to use it. Everybody doesn't have that ability. So right this minute I'm talking directly to you, because more than likely, if you're listening to me, you can make a profound impact on your own life. What do you have to do? First, let's be aware. Let's be aware of the needs that are around us. Let's be aware of the intrinsic needs that reside inside of us. What do we need? We don't necessarily need more money. We don't necessarily need bigger and nicer things, because that will never fill the gap of what's missing inside our own heart and soul. So what does fill that gap? Feed the people. Be a humanitarian. Be the humanitarian bridge, which is the subtitle of this page. Free and Alive, Humanitarian Bridge. When you start thinking in those terms, you will find success and happiness and joy in a way you really didn't think exist. Now let me bring that back to my story that I told you I was going to share with you. July 2018 and the next few months after that, I was literally walking a life and death tightrope. I was aware of it. I knew it. Where was my mind? My mind wasn't thinking about how much more money I could have made in my career. Could I have had a bigger home, a nicer car? Could I have taken more trips? My life was simply, in my own reflection, could I have done more to make the world I live in and the planet that I live on a better place? You'd be surprised at what facing your own mortality brings to the forefront of your mind. A lot of people think and they say what they would do if they were given a life sentence or a death sentence. I'm going to tell you, you don't know. Until you've actually been face to face with a doctor that told you something definitively, you can't begin to imagine how much the way you think and the way you perceive and see life changes. All of a sudden, the trees have a whole different meaning to me. People I see walking up and down the street, I see them in a totally different way than I saw them before. Now the things that were once a nuisance aren't necessarily that anymore. Something to ponder, isn't it? So what can we do? Well, I'm going to ask you this. Start writing a chapter in your story this week of what it would take for you to be happy and to have make your life have meaning. But I want you to exclude one thing. When you're looking for happiness and joy, complete that list with things that do not cost money. Because when you put money into the equation, then all of a sudden it becomes selfish, arrogant, righteous. And I don't want to give you that lesson for the moment. I want you to think, what can I do for myself right now that can have a profound impact on my life? And when you do that, you'd be surprised at how much you can change life for the world. Not because you're necessarily doing something, but because when you are aware of the needs of the world and the love that resides in your own heart, that manifestation we were talking about, you will start manifesting the hope and the desire to change the marginalized around the world. Will it happen in our generation? Probably not. But we can certainly be the ones that plant the dadgum seed and water it and fertilize it as long as we can. And if we do that and we hand it off to the next generation in full bloom, I have a feeling that we will begin a legacy that will transform this world in ways that today we think are not possible. That's my gathering message for the day. I want to hear from you. I keep telling you I'm gonna sit here and talk to you every day. I've not done a good job of that. I want to do better because when I talk to you, it means a lot to me. So until this evening or tomorrow, I will see you soon.